Hello everybody and welcome back to another art video. So 2020 was a bit of a pants one. No one knew what to do with themselves, and now 2021 is well, it just feels like a repeat at the moment, so you're probably doing your nutty and not too sure what to do. So how about jump on the art train, especially the alcohol marker ones, but you don't know where to start, don't know what to do. So I'm going to be under the assumption that you've already got your pencils. You know, there's a pencil and there's a rubber, you got your paper, you're ready to go. You're not quite sure where to start. Right, okay, first thing to start, we're gonna go through this really quickly because there's a lot to cover and I don't want to bore the living hell out of you. Right, standard paper, don't use it. Bad idea. Don't do it. It's too rough. I've done this video once already. I'm going through it again very quickly because I realized that the other one I did was over an hour long and I didn't have a microphone on. So yay. Extremely rough surface. Won't do the pens any good. You'll find out that you'll ruin them rather quickly. So what I recommend is that you throw that one away. Great for sketching on, but don't use it for alcohol markers. Get yourself some alcohol marker sketch pad. Courtesy of the camera rotating. Fantastic. That's great, isn't it? Oh, never mind. It is what it is. So there are loads of different types of alcohol marker pen, alcohol marker paper you can use. You can get cards. This is a card one. Really good for holding on to that bleed. You put too many layers on. This is 4 different layers that I've done, and as you can see, it's only just started to go through. So plenty of opportunities for layering and blending. Most cases you will only need to do two layers to get the full saturation. After that, it's not really that much. As you can see, there's not much difference in that. So this is just your normal, this is actually an Ohuhu alcohol marker sketch pad. And the other one I would recommend is the Winsor Newton. I've lost it. Oh no, I haven't. It's actually right here, you wally. This is the Winsor Newton Pro Marker bleed-proof marker paper. Great stuff. It's extremely thin, but it comes with a magic twist. The back side of it is slightly shiny. It's waxy. Can't actually feel the wax, but it is much smoother than the front, and that will lock in your colors. Case and point. Let's move this away. You can see this is my swatch. Don't bleed. It looks like they're coming through, but as you can see, it's very like grainy. Looks grainy, but it's not. That has not come through. The only thing that will happen to this paper is it will get eaten away. Put too much on it and it will like go fibrous like normal paper does. Great paper to start off with if you've never used alcohol markers before. It's very forgiving on how many layers you put on, and you can't go wrong with it, really, to be honest. I would highly recommend that. And if you've used it after you've used this and you want to go back to using card again, because obviously you like that, you know, you like the feeling of card, then there's loads of other types of different card out there that you can use. Not all of it is bleed proof, but once you get used to using the markers and not putting too much ink on the card, you should be okay. You'll be all right. So that was very quick. What paper to use? Right, so which pens to use? You want to use something that is not going to smudge. Let's just, oh no. It's like all my test papers. Let's just bring that there. I personally use the Copic multi-liners with a mixture of 2 Tombos that are very small brush pens. I love them. They're great. Would highly recommend them. I could go into much detail on those, but these are the ones that I found that work really well with my alcohol markers. They don't smudge too much. What I tend to use is the 0.5 in the Copic multi-liners. They do cost quite a bit, about 30 quid each. Not quid each for a packet. Whereas these two here was £2.95 at the time from Amazon. It comes as a double pack. What I do is I use the Copics first to go over my line work. I then color with the alcohol markers, and then I go in with the slightly thicker brush pen to just you know, cover up any mistakes I may have done. Gives me that nice finish that I personally prefer. There are loads of other pens out there that you can try, but I would recommend you try and get something that is going to be more resistant to alcohol markers, because they are going to, you know, make other inks smudge. So it's going to be trial and error. There are some that work really well, like these, that I do recommend, but there are loads of other alternatives out there that you can just try them out. But rather than paying for a whole pack of these, if you don't want to, I would recommend the 0.5. Great size to start off with. Can't go wrong with it. Again, I could go into more detail of these, but we are talking about alcohol markers at the moment. So, you know, if you guys want to see a more in-depth video with which markers are the best ones to use, let me know in the comments below, and maybe we'll do one for that. So where did I start? I started about a year ago, and I was thinking, what to use? What can I get my hands on? And at the time in my local art store, all I could get my mitts on were these. Camera's moved again. God damn it. Were these Winsor Newton markers. Now, these were just a Hail Mary test. Sorry, catching the microphone. These were a Hail Mary. I really wanted to give them a try. I saw let's actually turn this paper the right way around so we can actually try it out, because the Winsor Newton paper, you have to use it a particular way. So, hey, I've already got a mark out there. That's nice, isn't it? So these cost about £2.95 each. Quite expensive, really, considering. Not as expensive as the Copic markers. They've both got their pros and their cons. If you are on a budget, I would recommend the Ohuhus, because that's what I started. Well, I started off with these, right? Which was probably a bad idea, because I couldn't buy too many. So I ended up seeing the Ohuhus on YouTube, reviewed by other people, and they said they are a great entry level point, and they are. I love them to bits. Now, they come in two different types. You've got your bullet nib and your chisel, or you can get the chisel and the brush. It's entirely up to you which you want to choose. I would highly recommend you try and get the brush ones. They are slightly more expensive than the alternatives, but the alternatives are a great way to start. I only have these because I didn't actually read a description of these on Amazon and accidentally bought a pack of these. Pack consists of about 48 plus, depending on which ones you get. You can get 100 plus. The brush ones can come in 120, which is the full set. So if you are getting the smaller set, you are getting obviously less colors, but enough to do a lot with. And point. These are all the camera, come back. My apologies. Sorry, camera's on a really bad tripod at the moment. So you get a lot of colors for your money. This set cost me about, I think this was about 60 quid for a pack of 70 for the brush markers. The normal ones, the bullet nib ones, I think come in a less pack. I think they come in a pack of 40, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. You can get them from Amazon or their Ohuhu's website themselves, although they don't ship globally at the moment. They only ship to certain places. So double check their site, see if they ship to your area. Big downside to these is that you cannot, as of filming this, which the date is the 13th of February 2021, cannot buy these individually at the moment. But there's a big but, and I'm not talking about my fat butt. If for whatever reason you have a problem with any of their pens, their support is top notch. One of my pens that I had after 3 months had gone a bit funky. I will show you here. So my number 28, as you can see here, is a nice pink. Nice salmon pink, right? I put a question mark next to it. 3 months later down the line, I go to use this color again. All right. And we end up with, where is it? Here's the 3 month swatch. That 28. It's not the same. And then we go to 6 months down the line. What's that? What is that? What happened? What happened to the 28? Now, 6 months down the line, I have now started to run out. My 26 is now run out. My 25 is pretty close. My 8 has run out. Mostly because I've been drawing a lot of Dragon Ball Z, a lot of Boo. So, a lot of Majin Buu colors being the purples, they have run out. And, yeah, that is pain in the bum because it means to replace those, I would need to buy a complete packet. Bummer. But Ohuhu are very good at helping you out, should we say. They were very, very, very helpful to me. They asked me to show photos of them. So any pens you get, whether you go with the Ohuhus, whether you go with Pro Markers, whether you go for Copics, depending on how much money you want to spend on these and getting into them, swatch them. As you just saw, swatch. I swatch every 3 months, just be on the safe side. It just lets me know which pens are degrading and it keeps my colors up to date just in case they may have been left in the sun by accident or they may have dried out. Yeah, just swatch them before you do anything every few months, just so you know which ones are still usable. There's nothing worse than getting halfway through a piece of art only to find that your ink is gone. Because you have to try and use something else. At which point, you've made a mess of things. So yeah, there is that. So what is the difference between Ohuhu and Pro Markers? I would say these are more juicy. When I say juicy, they feel like they put out more ink. Let me give you a demonstration here. So we're going to use the Ohuhu. These pretty much work the same, but I will show you the difference between. So we got the bullet nib. So you can see that's bullet nib. This is chisel nib. As you see, you get more ink out of it. And then from, these are both 64s, but from different sets. So bullet nib and brush set, they're pretty much the same color, to be fair. It's just that the B is, I think, it's just blue 64. All the brush sets will have their color numbers on them and their color code. So they're easy to find. Whereas on these ones, it's just the number. Can be a pain in the bum when trying to distinguish 6 from 9, which I have done a few times. Like a Wally. So that's the difference. So bullet nib, chisel, brush. So these are the I love them. And this is the Pro Markers. Now I don't have many of these because quite frankly they cost quite a bit and I can't get them in where I am at the moment. So I'm gonna go do chisel nib again. I love the coverage of these. I really, really do. And then the bullet nib on this is a lot more smaller. The chisel nib on this one, on the Pro Marker, it just looks flat. It's just completely and utterly covered. It's grey. Now I don't know if that's just with the blue. Let's try with the green. So it's covered pretty well. So I say these are all the colors that I've got. I've got salmon pink. Well, it's actually peach, but it looks more like a salmon color to me. Actually, I stand corrected. That is peach. Again, really, really nice coverage on the chisel on there. We've got a yellow here. Again, really nice. These are definitely much, much more juicy than the Ohuhu, but then the Ohuhu are very, because they are cheaper, you get a lot more variant in them. You may get one that is extremely juicy like this, or you may get one that just takes a little bit more to cover, but that's not a problem because you can just layer them. Whereas these ones, I feel these would cover in one pass very, very easily. Whereas some of the Ohuhus, cool, these smell. These have got a very, very strong smell to them. Whew. Wow. Wow. So let me just do W and N. So Winsor and Newton. And then we've got the fan favorite, the Copics. So do the brush. That is so smooth, so much softer. I can't compare brush with the Pro Markers because, yeah, it's I don't have a brush for the Pro Markers, but if I had to say, brush on this is just so much more softer. It actually feels like a brush. So what would I recommend for a first time alcohol marker user? Well, that's entirely up to you what you want to go with. If money is not an issue, go grab yourself a load of pro markers. They do set you back about £3. I'm rounding off here, but £2.95, but £3 per pen. As far as I'm aware, they're not refillable, so once you use it, throw it away, buy another one. They are available individually, so that is already a plus upon the Ohuhus. The Ohuhus are only available in packs, big packs. So if you run out of a, let's say, a blue 64, you've got to buy a whole pack of 70 pens for about 40 to 60 quid, depending where you get them from, whether they're on sale or what. There is that. So yeah, unfortunately, they're not. You can't buy them individually, which is a huge defining factor on which pens to get. So both of them are non-refillable. The pro markers you can buy individually or in packs, which again, you can buy them in packs of 3, 4, 8 and 12, I think. So you can get like skin tone packs, you can get pastel packs, you know, they come in many packs, or you can just go ahead and just spend an absolute ton and buy the whole collection in one go if you really want to. But I'm going to be under the assumption that that's not something you want to do, because, well, you're here to find out which pen's going to be great for a beginner. Ohuhu. Cheap. Very cheap. Very great way to get into, like I showed earlier on, you get a very nice selection of pens on what to do. You can't go wrong with them. If you've only spent if you've spent 40 quid on the normal bullet nib ones, and you know, you decided alcohol markers aren't for you, that's fine. You've only spent 40 quid on a bunch of pens that you may visit only once again. Well, that is fine. Whereas if you spend if you bought 10 of these, or maybe 20 of these at 3 quid a pop, you have wasted a lot of money. So I would highly recommend you get a pack of Ohuhus, give them a try, and then from there, where do you go from there? Well, you can, if you want to, upgrade from this to this. That blue's come out, these have all come out really nice, actually. You can upgrade to the pro markers if you want to. Now, this is where the comparison that I absolutely love with the Copics and the pro markers. Like I said, the pro markers aren't, unfortunately, refillable, but the Copic sketches are. So why would you get these over these when these are more expensive? These are £5.95 a pop at the moment here in the UK. Not on sale. Obviously, to go on sale, you can get much cheaper. So why would you spend more for what looks to be a slightly smaller pen, which might hold less ink? I'll tell you why. It's very straightforward. These are refillable. Right? So going from my experience, an Ohuhu marker has roughly lasted me 3 months. Right? So let's say I replace this pack of 40 pens, 40-ish pens, that retail at roughly, let's say for the sake 40 quid. I think it's actually 40 quid for 60 pens, I think. Not 100% sure now, but I'm just ballparking it here, right? So a whole pack of pens is 40 quid. So that's 40 quid every 3 months just to get this color back. And then I end up with doubles, possibly triples of other colors that I just don't use. So you go, well, save yourself some money rather than have been absolutely over, you know, got pens coming at your ears because you don't use all those shades of greens, or you don't use those shades of blues. I'd be very surprised if you had spare blues laying over, but maybe you got loads of browns left over. You can buy them individually in the pro markers. So your blue runs out, you throw it away, you get another one, you throw it away, you buy, you know, over the course of the year, if you was to replace one pen at £3 a pop every 3 months, so that's 3, 6, 9, 12, that's times 4, so that's 3 times 4, 12 quid. Right, so you spend 12 quid on one color throughout the year, right? Constantly. So that's 12 quid every year while you're doing this, working with this material, or medium. That's the word I wanted, medium. So 12 quid a year. That's not bad. You know, that's not bad for that. You could probably spend 12 quid on a lot of other stuff. But I've got out of the Ohuhus, I've probably done, let me just count right now. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got about 12 to 15 full A3 drawings out of one pen. And that's multi-layering as well. So I've got a lot out of them, right? I've really worked these pens pretty hard. So going back to the Copics, why would I recommend this over this? Well, quite frankly, these can be refilled, right? The refill cartridge for this is £8.95 and can refill this pen from anywhere from about 12 to 14 times. So let's say you end up refilling this pen every 3 months. That refill cartridge should technically, hypothetically, theoretically last you 2.5 years. See where I'm getting at? So for £5 for the pen and then £8.95 for, let's round it off. So £6 for the pen and £9 for the cartridge, the refill cartridge. So that's 8 plus 6. That is maths in my head. Not great. That's 14 quid. 14 quid for roughly 2.5 years of use. So the elephant in the room, the nibs. Will they last 2.5 years? That doesn't matter. Anybody that's used felt tip pens in the past will know that they fray over time. They get soft and just don't look very attractive. Who of us remembers being back in school and getting the most used pen, felt tip pen, only to find out that it looks like a braille, a Brio pad. Those of you that do hand wash up by hand, you know what a Brillo pad is. No, just starts to fray after it. Well, it looks like an absolute mess. Trying to like color in with it is an absolute nightmare. The nibs are replaceable. You can get little tools, pair of tweezers to pull that nib out once it's gone all to mess and just put a new one in. And there you go. Your Copics are back to normal, back to fighting strength. This is why I would highly recommend you go for the Copics over the Ohuhus. Not the Winsor Newtons. The Ohuhus are a fantastic starting place, but over the Winsor Newton and the Copics, I would, you know, for money wise, these are gonna take it. If you want very, very nice coverage and you've got the money to spare, going from the Ohuhus, grab the Winsor Newtons. Look at them. They've just, I don't know how well that's actually come up over on them on camera, but they have covered really, really nice. I do have a couple of, I don't have many Copics. I've only got these ones because they were sent to me as a gift. Right now. So let's just see how these cover as well quickly. I'll use the chisel nib just so we've got a comparison. Oh, that's a nice yellow actually. I like that yellow. That's a nice Super Saiyan yellow. Did I use that one already? The RV13. Yeah, I made a wish list of these because Majin Buu colors essentially. So yeah, I'm only gonna do one pass for these because that's exactly what I did with the. They smell strong as well. You can really smell the amount of alcohol that is in these. The Ohuhus don't smell. I can't smell anything from those. In fact, depending on the color, that yellow and these look just as good as that blue does. I don't think I have a blue like that in my Ohuhu set. So yeah, these are some really, really nice colors actually. They've covered really well. I use the chisel side because that's all I've got of pro markers as a comparison. So I expect the brush side to do just as well for coverage. So there you have it, ladies and gents. Where to start with alcohol markers. Go cheap. And then as you slowly run out of these, so your blue runs out, just replace that with one pro marker or one Copic, depending on which one you prefer, like the look of. I would say try them both. You might like them both. I do like these. I just wish I could refill them. If I could refill these, I would get both of these the Copics I can refill, so I'm going to end up saving money in the long run than just keep buying these and throwing them out. If you're not one for waste, go for the Copics, because you will definitely be doing the environment better, because less plastic, obviously. You're not going to have like 4 of these pens laying around at the end of the year. You're just going to have the one pen and the refill cartridge, and that's it. So yeah, food for thought, ladies and gents. Once again, grab some cheap ones, Ohuhus, or any ones that are really cheap, and then when they run out, rather than buying a complete pack of them all, just replace them as these run out with something, you know, more premium. I say these do you know what, same premium with these feel really, really good, to be honest. These are just probably, I just wish you could refill them or buy them individually. If you could buy these individually, I'd say yeah, get these are cheap, and they keep up with these. Yeah, there you go, ladies and gents. Thank you very much for watching. If you made it to the end, I really do appreciate it. Hope you guys took something away from this. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. If you want to see a more in-depth video regarding line markers, or you know, doing highlights, or maybe what kind of leads to use, or pencils or pens, yeah, drop a comment and see what I can do. You take care. Go out there and make something. Go on, go be creative. I dare you. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that lovely juicy goodness, and I will see you next time. Bye bye for now.